Howdy everybody, Argon Matrix here, welcoming you to episode 4 of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Starting off on a pretty sour note with this series, we have 2 losses and 1 win in 3 videos, which is awful, just god-awful, so I'm gonna try and boost my morale a little bit and play as Azazel, who is probably factually the easiest character to win as, because we start with Flight here and a sort of a miniature short-range version of Brimstone, which is the only real disadvantage that Azazel has, is that crippling range, which means you have to get up close and personal with a lot of enemies in order to deal damage with them. A lucky rock has appeared in the basement. That's what we get for, that's a trinket that you get, I think, for blowing up a certain number of rocks, which kind of happened automatically there with that troll bomb, which is nice. And otherwise, Azazel starts with 3 black hearts, so no replenishable HP. No reliably replenishable HP, anyway. And he also starts with the Fool card here, which teleports you back to the spawn room of a floor. Which might not sound extraordinarily useful, but you'd be surprised at sort of the utility you can get out of that. In certain, not even I wouldn't even call them niche scenarios, but just certain scenarios that you might not think of immediately. Non-obvious scenarios is the word I'd probably choose there. Alright. Now look, I'm not going to try and make any excuses as to my poor play. Ooh, Monstro's Lung. That's actually interesting. It's going to make our shot charge up a lot slower, I think. But when we fire it, oh yeah, it fires off in a multi-directional sort of Brimstone nastiness, which I'm totally a fan of. Try and find the secret room in here. Not quite. Surprise, surprise. Usually the best way to find a secret room is look for any empty spaces that are adjacent to, the turtlings. They're adjacent to 3 or more rooms, and that are accessible, where the secret room entrance would be accessible from all 3 or more of those rooms, if that makes any sense. There we go, turtlings are down, get some replenishable HP here, and head down to the next floor. Pretty strong a start with Azazel so far. Like I said, almost certainly the easiest character to win as, which means hopefully I don't die, and like, honestly, I'm just sort of embarrassed at the moment. There's really no reason I should have lost that last run as Lazarus. I had some pretty stellar HP, and I just took really dumb damage. But you know what? I think it's just more, I hate to blame everything on the Let's Play curse, which is, some would consider that not even a real thing. I will take Bob's Rotten Head, which is a reusable ranged bomb, as it says right there. Basically just a bomb that you can throw once every 3 rooms, and that's that. Easy as that. Also contributes towards the Bob transformation, of course. Yeah, I was just playing like a maroon, but the Let's Play Curse does have some merit to it. It's not some nebulous sort of concepts like some would have you believe. But it's more just the idea that multitasking is difficult. Harder for some people than others. I like to think of myself as a fairly competent multitasker. Maybe that's not the case, though. I don't know. Because you've seen... I'm sure for those of you who've been around my channel more often than others, let's go ahead and pick up E. coli. That turns enemies into poop when we touch them. It still causes damage to us, but it'll turn them into poop and effectively one-hit kill them, which is pretty powerful, honestly. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about with this whole Let's Play Curse shenaniganery. It's easy to lose train of thought. It's hard to keep one train of conversation going, and also try to explain everything that's going on in the game. Perhaps I shouldn't actually focus on that too much then, though. It's just, maybe I should... Ooh, Magic Mush is an all-stats upgrade, probably the best all-stats upgrade, too. And we got the shovel, which we took on the last floor and did not necessarily need. We also... Oh, shit. I didn't actually mean to walk out there. Thankfully, I got lucky and the devil deal was still here. We got a Dead Cat, which gives us 9 extra lives. And we also got the Parasite, which I forget what that is. I think that's for picking up a certain number of, like, head-based items or something. I don't know. I'm going to head back to the shop here. Yeah, obviously the game's taking it easy on me now. I'm playing as Azazel. I've got 9 lives. Chaos could come in handy. Basically, Chaos, it's sort of a difficult one to explain. Oh my god, Balls of Steel. They're just laying it on thick here. It's like, yeah, you suck here. have every possible advantage you can get. Because Balls of Steel just gave us 2 extra Spirit Hearts, in case you weren't paying attention to that. Yeah, Chaos is kind of a difficult one to explain unless you know the ins and outs of Isaac, but basically it makes it so that you can acquire any item from anywhere. Because the way Isaac works usually is that certain items will be restricted to only appear in set areas, like certain items will only appear in a deal with the devil, certain items can only be bought from a shop, certain items will only appear in an item room, so on and so forth. But what Chaos does is it kind of abolishes all of those rules, so you could effectively like pick up Brimstone or something in an item room, which would normally not be possible. Or you could pick up like Mom's Key in a devil deal, or an HP upgrade in a devil deal, which is totally nonsensical, but it's just, oh, we don't have any keys. Alright. Forego that for now, I suppose. Oh, there's Turdy Touch in action. Saw it when we ran into that bat briefly. There we go again. Alright, don't be taking any dumb damage now. We saw how that's gone for us in the past here. I could just go straight for that boss fight, but I would like to find my shop before I do. Just in case I can pick up something of value there. I have enough money now to buy even a full price item. This monster's lung brimstone kind of synergy is actually causing me a little bit of slowdown on my computer. I would really love to actually get a new computer. That's something I kind of wish I'd asked for Christmas. Whether I would have gotten it or not remains to, well, it doesn't remain to be seen. It's not going to be seen. It's just a pipe dream of what ifs and quantum physics. But it's something I really do need. This computer's like, I think more than 5 years old now, which in terms of modern technology is basically obsolete like 20 times over. Which is crazy to think about for me. But yeah, I got it when I went out to my first year of university out in Waterloo. And I have not replaced it since. Book of Shadows is normally not a shop item, but thanks to Chaos we can buy here. I'll take it. It gives us temporary invincibility, which in conjunction with our E. coli item could actually be pretty staggeringly powerful. Let's head down to the boss fight now. Yeah, because this computer, it's good. It's like, it gets the job done, obviously, but it causes me more strife than I really need, and the amount of rendering time and sort of the ability to record various PC games like this. I thought E. coli actually did contact damage regardless of, like, even against the boss or something. Got butt bombs, which turns our bombs into toxic blasts that effectively sort of poison all enemies on the floor. We got Guppy's Head and the Treasure Map. Treasure Map gives us sort of a layout of the room without telling us what is in each room. And Guppy's Head is obviously another Guppy item. I'll keep Book of Shadows for now. But that is 2 items towards our transformation. So not bad in the slightest. Yeah, I really need to get a higher rig computer though, so I can actually get into streaming proper and being able to record these games without any degree of slowdown or skipping or my computer's fans going into overdrive, which you can sometimes hear in the background of these videos. Petrified Poop makes it so we have a much higher chance of getting coins and stuff out of poops here, which is obviously nice. Especially actually with E. coli, that can actually be really good. Let's see here. I'll get a lot of money. Man, hell, maybe we could get Cain unlocked on this run. We tried to do that on the previous run. Ooh, 2 diamonds. I think I'll actually hold on to 2 diamonds for now, because what that does is that it doubles the amount of money we have. So if I can get to half of 55 cents, which would be, what, 28, is what you would effectively need. So only 10 more cents, which is not that bad, honestly. Then I can use 2 diamonds and just unlock Cain that way, so that would be nice, because I'd like to get all the characters unlocked as soon as possible. If that is at all possible, which obviously it's going to be. Alright, use that guy to blow up that tinted rock, which is nice. And let's see what's in here. We got Gimpy, which I think we had before. Makes it so when you take damage, sometimes a Spirit Heart will drop, or sometimes, I think it makes it so enemies are more likely to drop half red hearts as well. Ooh, we got Greed in here, which is actually really good for arcane purposes, unless he hits us, in which case we lose money. But he didn't, so no sense talking about that. These guys are so fat and bulky. They're so hard to take down if you only have, like, normal tiers. Because they get knocked back super easily, too. Speed upgrade, I'm not gonna deny that that's pretty nice. And keep on going here. We got Gertie, who should go down fairly quickly, I think, here. This Monstrous Lung is ridiculous, honestly. Normally, Monstrous Lung is a powerful item, but not quite this powerful, as powerful as it has been with the Zazel. Alright, so we got speed up, size down. We got another pretty fly pill. Causes another little fly orbital that can block shots for us. So we can trade 3 Spirit Hearts here for either 10 bombs, an HP upgrade, or Mom's Perfume. I think all 3 of those are pretty bad. But, you know what, will I take Mom? I'm not going to take Mom's Perfume. I'm not going to take any of that. It's just not worth it, man. Obviously, I have a lot of Spirit Hearts to spare, and I have 9 lives backing that up, and win. But that's the problem, is that, like, I really just want to secure a win, if nothing else, so I'd like to keep as much defensive capabilities on my side as possible. So let's not risk that. Lemon Party causes a massive puddle to sort of, I think you saw it before. It causes gives us a puddle that damages all ground-bound enemies. Here is our Book of Shadows E. coli performance here. This is phenomenal, actually. In conjunction with Petrified Poop, like I said, this should be giving us a decent amount of money, hopefully. Nice, nice. Up to 25 cents, so just a little bit more, and then I can pop that, that 2 of Diamonds card, and we'll be in business. Not only will we have 55 cents, but we'll unlock a new character. Alright, these guys are a little nasty, though. Hopefully, like, maybe in the shop here we can find our 3rd Guppy item as well, because I wouldn't mind showing off that transformation. We're very nearly there. Alright, nice. Oh god. Nice supply of chests and consumables in the middle of this room, too. Which would normally not be as easily accessible without Azazel's flight here. This is probably going to be sort of a recurring issue for me, is just thinking of things to talk about in these videos, like, because there's only so much you can really talk about in Isaac before, like, you've covered all your bases and people sort of just know what's going on. Like, I'm sure anyone who watches this series frequently enough will eventually, even if you've never played Isaac a day in your life, you might be able to know the game even better than I do. And just be able to sort of backseat game me. Which is easy enough to do when you're not actually the one playing. Oh, by the way, I don't think I gave the seed for the last run, but Z2VIMOQR, totally forgot to do that last time, but you know what, I died anyway, and it gives you the seed on the death screen, so we'll be fine on that front. Really need to get into the habit of doing that, though. Something I should put like a post-it note on my fucking monitor to remind myself or something. Wall Master's coming down here. I could actually probably just do this and be totally fine. Yep, easy as that. Ooh, gosh. And I burped and everything. Man, I forgot to use my 2 diamonds, like, earlier. We got Cain, though. There we go, and we got our shop here and everything. So we can hopefully buy something nice. Sad Onion is just a massive tiers upgrade, which for us makes our charge time lesser. I will buy Bob's Curse, which is our 2nd item towards completing our Bob transformation. So if we find Bob's Brain, we can pick that up and get the Bob transformation, which will be nice. Store upgrade level 1, which I think means we'll have more options of stuff to buy in our store next time we come in. Let's just see how much we can get in here. Alright. Not sure what the total was at the end of that, but I'm fine with it. Is this the Depths one? Yeah, this is the Depths one, okay. So we do still have one more shop to take advantage of with our money here. Oh, damn. One thing I kind of wish Petrified Poop did is made it so that poop-based enemies, like those guys we fought in the last room, those little dips, have a chance to drop money. I think that would be a sort of a cool synergy. The first mod I'm going to make an Afterbirth Plus, you know? Because that is one of the main things that's actually coming with Afterbirth Plus 2, the expansion I was talking about. That goes live on January 3rd, I believe, is the official date. Yes, it's going to introduce a lot of new items and I think bosses and characters and stuff, but also I think the biggest sort of upgrade is that it's going to give access to modding tools to people who want to create mods and items of their own in Afterbirth, which is a really, really cool idea, being that this is probably going to be the last expansion pack, or the last sort of DLC type thing for Isaac, at least for probably a long time. So the idea of giving your players sort of free reign over what they want to put in the game, now that it's been so long, it's been so many years of Isaac and new things getting updated and patched in and downloaded to the game, that it's like, you know what? It's kind of become a player's game now. Ooh, Breath of Life is, it's interesting. Basically, it's a pretty bad item, and I'm just going to pick it up for the completion's sake. Basically what it does is you can hold it down, and you hold down the spacebar, and the charge counter up by it will tick down, and once it hits 0, you're invincible for like 1 or 2 seconds, and then if you hold it any longer than that, you take damage, so, not the greatest thing, but you know, I can think of worse spacebar items, honestly. Yeah, so being able to, like, do mods, and that's part of, honestly, like, as nerdy as this might sound, I've been learning a little bit of computer programming and just computer science on my off time. And part of my incentive to do that was actually because I knew Afterbirth Plus was coming out fairly soon, and I wanted to be able to potentially write up my own codes and like put in new items and stuff into this game, or adjust existing items even, and I think that could be a lot of fun, honestly. Because I don't anticipate ever being able to make my own game. You never know, though. It's not one of my top priority things that I want to get done with my life, to make a game, but it would be a cool accomplishment nonetheless if I ever could. But you know, the next best thing is to be able to take a game that I know and love already, like Isaac here, which is probably the most convenient and also probably appropriate example, and be able to mod it to high hell and do whatever I want with it, and sort of use it as a almost playground for my ideas that might that I could introduce into a game of my own at some point. Fat Odd Mushroom here is a damage upgrade, and also gives us an empty heart container, which I can fill up with these red hearts here, nicely enough. The reason I call it Fat Odd Mushroom when it's honestly just called Odd Mushroom is the name of the item, is that there is a second item also called Odd Mushroom, which is a skinny version of it and does something else entirely. So that, yeah, in case you were confused on that. It sucks though because, ooh, this is actually really good. Dark Bum, basically what he does is he takes red hearts on the ground, like this over here, and he picks them up, and then after I think he has accumulated 1.5 red hearts, he'll spit out one of 3 things, either a spirit heart, a attack spider, or a hostile spider. Usually it'll be a spirit heart, I'm pretty sure. Range down is actually pretty nasty. Because we already have pretty shit range, obviously. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the language I'm learning to program and stuff in right now is C. I'm learning it via Harvard's online course, CS50. And I'm not sure how well it's going to translate to Isaac here once we get access to the modding tools and everything, because I think the language Isaac is written in is Lua, which I have no familiarity with at all. Of course, this is sort of inside baseball talk now, so maybe I should just not worry about it. Anyway, this is Boss Rush, like I said before. This is what you get access to if you can beat Mom within the first 20 minutes of a run, which obviously we did. And so our choices here of items, we have Mom's Pearls, which gives us a range and luck upgrade, and we have another attack fly, like Distant Admiration or something, which will give us another sort of fly orbital, like we just got on our from beating Mom there, which just does damage. I think I'm going to take this one, Forever Alone, okay. Just for the sake of having it, and also it contributes towards the Lord of the Flies transformation. If we can just get one more fly, then we'll be set on that. And one really nice thing about Boss Rush 2 is that because it's a large room, for every wave you complete here, you get 2 extra charges on your spacebar item, which is really nice for me, being that I have Book of Shadows, so I'm effectively going to be invincible for a lot of this Boss Rush. Not all of it, obviously, because some bosses take a while to take down, and Book of Shadows does not last an extraordinarily long time. But, that Lemon Party could come in clutch. I don't know if that was the best time to use it, but rarely is there a perfect, ideal time to use Lemon Party. Or one that's a game changer or anything like that. I unlocked Necropolis. I think that's for beating all of the various Depths bosses, which I guess the Cage was the last one we had to fight. Hilariously enough, we might actually get a couple of that. A couple of those types of achievements. But basically what Necropolis is a variant of the Depths that is considered to be harder with the enemies and the rooms and stuff that it produces. Dark Bum's keeping us alive with the Spirit Hearts and stuff here. Polycephalus and the Stain, that's kind of an interesting boss wave. In Rebirth, the waves of these bosses were actually predetermined. It was always the same bosses on each wave every time. In Afterbirth, though, it's actually, I think, randomized. So every single boss is game, except for like special bosses like Mom and some of the later game bosses. Gimpy kind of gave me a heart there, I think. So you can actually get some pretty interesting boss combinations. Some can be very easy, some can be very, very hard, depending on what your RNG is like. Alright, this angel guy. I actually I forgot the angels could even spawn in the boss rush. Just goes to show how often I do boss rush on the regular. Like you've probably noticed by now, I'm a fairly slow player, all things told. And honestly, the only reason I ever really have done boss rush in the past is in order to unlock the items for each character that you get for doing boss rush. And then most of the time I end up not doing it, or like one of the key strategies, one of the more fun things you can do is take a teleport card or some like means of teleporting at all down to boss rush, pick up the item at the start, and then just teleport out and not have to fight any of the waves. It means you miss out on the item at the end of boss rush, but usually it's like usually it might not even be worth it, honestly. I feel like we're nearing the end of this. I've never actually counted these waves to know how many there are, but if I had to guess, I'd probably say there's like 15. Don't quote me on that, though. I suppose I can count it in editing and find out now. It's amazing I've played so much of this game and don't even know sort of like basic facts like that. The nail has appeared in the basement. That's what we get. And we also get our third Guppy item here, Guppy's Paw. Unlock Guppy's Hairball, and challenge number 8, Cat got our tongue, and we became Guppy. Alright, this is a ridiculously powerful run. Guppy's Paw turns your red hearts into 3 soul hearts, which I'm totally fine with, honestly. And then let's head down to the womb. So what Guppy is, it's a transformation, obviously. It gives you flight, which we already had, so that's not a huge difference for us. But it also makes it so whenever its here hits an enemy, you spawn an attack fly. And so obviously that's very powerful. It's like a passive version of Guppy's Head, which is normally a one-room active item, as we've seen in the past, which is really, really crazy. And very, very powerful, obviously. We already had Bob's Rotten Head before, don't need that. So it's really nice. I'm actually kind of floored that I managed to pick that up, because normally once you get Chaos from a shop, it either becomes very easy or very, very hard to get Guppy, depending on your luck. Because normally Guppy items are restricted mostly to deals with the Devil and Red chests. And with Chaos, you can effectively get them anywhere, which obviously decreases your chances of getting them on a deal with the Devil, but increases your chances of getting them overall, I think, which is why we managed to snag that. Alright, we got the boss fight here. Yeah, this, I'm pretty sure this is done. We have 9 lives still backing us up. Got our Book of Shadows. Mama Gertie is an interesting boss, who is unfortunately dead right now. Anarchist Cookbook is basically an active form of Curse of the Tower. Creates a bunch of troll bombs around the room, not super great. And the Virus gives us passive poison damage, or not passive, but contact poison damage. We've had it before, I'll take it again. Couldn't hurt. And to be honest, I just like the idea of rolling on mostly just Spirit Hearts, or entirely Spirit Hearts and Black Hearts. Alright, looks like the boss is probably in the top right here. You can sort of just gauge where the boss might be. Usually, a good rule of thumb to go by if you have the treasure map and no means of, and no like compass or anything in order to tell the Oh. Okay, I'm not going to take advantage of that. That's a skip down to the next floor, which is not going to be normally accessible on this run, because we haven't met certain criteria. You'll find out what that means in a bit here. My god, we're just destroying, especially with Guppy now. This is crazy. Definitely a morale boost, the kind of morale boost that I needed after the past 2 runs. Yeah, but if you have treasure map, a good rule of thumb to go by is go for the dead end on the map that is furthest away if you want to access the boss fight. Because that's not always gonna steer you true. Sometimes the boss can be in a bit of a wonky position. Might not even be in a dead end all the time. But more often than not, especially on these later floors, you'll find that's that'll do the trick for you. My god. All those hands just came down and kind of wiped themselves out on my flies. Ew. What do we got here? The devil. Totally just overkill at this point. We don't need any extra sort of damage. The devil does give us an increased deal with the devil chance, I think, when we use it on the floor. So that's something to consider, but obviously a deal with the devil, as we saw when we teleported to it earlier, on this floor just gives us a skip down to the next floor, which we're not going to need. Alright, head in here. We're fighting Mom's Heart. It's fucked up, man. It's a fucked up life. But Mom's Heart should go down fairly quickly here. It's a harder fight than it was in the original Binding of Isaac, that's for sure. But still not too tough by any means. No deal with the devil. And our run ends here. Let's see what we got. Alright then, I believe that signifies that we've unlocked Eden, who's another playable character that we'll be introduced to pretty soon here. One of the more interesting playable characters as well. He starts with like 2 or 3 random items and random stats. It's interesting, and you also need Eden tokens to play as him. You get an Eden token every time you complete a run, up to Mom's Heart, I think. That's that, though. We should also unlock something for beating Mom's Heart as a Zazel, if I remember correctly. And I think we need to beat Mom's Heart like 10 times before we can unlock the next floor. I'm getting way ahead of myself now. Let's just see what we got here. We unlocked Rat Baby. That's for beating Mom's Heart as a Zazel. We got Eden. And that's it. Alright, that's fine by me. Because we also got all the Guppy unlocks. There we go. A new little splash screen. You can see 1 X above Mom's Heart, which indicates 1 Mom's Heart kill. Awesome. Possum. Rock'em Sock'em Robot. And we also got some little... You can look up on the top left at the post-it note there. That basically indicates what you have completed with this character. So the little heart in the top left indicates that we've beaten Mom's Heart, and the star indicates that we defeated Boss Rush with this character. So that is lovely. And here's Eden. Got 1 Eden token. So maybe we'll see how that goes next time. For now, though, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Please leave a like and a comment below. It really helps me out, keeps me going. And subscribe if you want to see more Isaac content or any other games that I may create content for in the future. For now, though, this is Argon Matrix signing out. Thank you and good night.